meditate on this. The subconscious mind is like a black hole. It's a vacuum. It pulls in everything that crosses its path. The portals or gateways to the subconscious mind exist on the human body, in the human body. Some of them are called ears, some of them are called eyes. And you can receive certain signals and things and messages, etc., through these senses, through these tools for senses, sight, hearing, etc. But no matter what you do, no matter what you put in front of your ears, no matter what you put in front of your eyes, just understand that the subconscious mind is going to receive that, and it's going to be embedded within you in perpetuity. It's going to be with you forever. And the people in power know this. The ruling class know this, and they do a damn good job of putting things in there that are not going to lead to quality of thought. It's important that you take control of this and try to embed things with high quality of thought into your subconscious mind, so that when they come back to the surface, when they come back, they pop out on the other side, they're fruitful. The things that are good for you, things that lead to quality of thought. So try to embed good things in your subconscious mind. Now that we know we have to program the subconscious mind, do that consciously, the next question becomes, with what? I believe we need to start with music. Music is very natural. Everybody loves music. They're even treating dementia with music, because music can take you to the past, bring you to memories, the vibe. Everything is just seems to come into focus clearly. It's easily visualized when you put music and have a soundtrack to your life. And so what type of music do we listen to? You know, it's part of our daily ritual. It's part of our daily dealings in programming the subconscious mind. The type of music we listen to is very important. And think about quality of thought. Is your music going to nurture the idea of quality of thought? Or is it ratchet? Is it supremely ghetto? Is it trash? Or is it breathing life into you? Right? It's the difference between listening to, something that's promoting death as to something that's promoting life. Looking at some of the neurological effects that happen when you listen to certain types of music, nourishing the brain with that type of music. The TV shows you watch, the movies you watch. What type of shows do you watch, and how are you inspired by them? What are the images that are being implanted in your subconscious mind from the movies and TV and the media that you watch, from the things you watch on YouTube, etc., etc. If you look at one of those controversial stories about TikTok, I said that Chinese people, or the Chinese Communist Party, whatever, has a different algorithm than the one for the Western nations. The one in the Western nations, the kids are watching videos that go viral, doing pranks and all types of silly stuff. And China's algorithm is showing kids completing puzzles and doing math. These are the things they're promoting because they understand the programming of the subconscious mind is very important for the future of your people and where they're going. So with that same concept in mind, what type of media are you always being influenced by? What type of media do you constantly force yourself to be influenced by? What if we saw images of love all the time instead of images of destruction, war, etc., etc.?
What type of media is Hotep Jesus influenced by?
I like the old stuff. I like the classics. Mostly written work, literature. That's the type of stuff I listen to. I listen to a lot of lectures. One of my favorite lecturers is John Henrik Clarke, Dr. Kaba Kamene. Those are like two of my faves. I like listening to scholarly work, scholarly teachers. I go to bed to to chess videos, but I also need some gangster in my life. You know, I'm not perfect, but I need some, you know, I need some cartel gang member, you know, type programming. This is, you know, that's the stuff I happen to like. You know, I like violent movies. I like heists. I like heist movies, like The Italian Job and Ocean's 11 and, you know, those types of things. I like military movies. Like, I thought the new Top Gun was amazing. But I also try to be conscious of what I'm seeing, and so, you know, what's clear is we're gonna come across some content that is not going to nurture quality or high quality of thought. So what we have to do is we have to wrap this stuff with labels. So what you can do is when an image appears before your subconscious mind, what we can do is we can frame it. So when it gets embedded and it gets stored within your mental hard drive, it's filed in a folder, you know, marked bad, marked good, marked to question, marked, you know, you can label these things. So sometimes when things come into our subconscious mind, we don't frame it, we don't put a label on it. I think we have to say, okay, if I'm watching a movie and they're murdering people, let's say for instance, as we're watching this, we got to label that bad. This is bad. This is no bueno, right? And even some labels that your personal opinion might weigh in on, and how you manage this stuff logically. So even though everything's going to be received by your subconscious mind, and some things you may enjoy, some pieces of content you may enjoy, it's very important to frame that stuff and label that stuff. So when it gets into your subconscious mind, your subconscious mind knows, okay, this is this and this is that. So it knows clear difference. It's not just sitting there to be sprouted later on in the wrong manner or intent. What is your receptivity? Are you receiving the signals, or are you only transmitting them? You have to tune your inner radio to receive messages, not only send them. Sometimes we get caught up with our conscious mind. Our conscious mind is constantly sending signals out to the universe, to God, to friends, family, etc., etc. But sometimes you have to reset yourself and come back to zero and just say, I'm not intending to send any messages, I'm intending to receive them. I call it no mind. I've spoken about this in the past. And we want to open up the mind, enter a state of receptivity, to receive the signals, to be imbued by God. Messages, prescient visualizations, to be omniscient. All these things are made possible by entering a receptive state, by dismissing the world and all of its physicalness, dismissing the world and all of its 3D-ness, dismissing the matrix, forgetting you are of this physical dimension. Dismissing all of that, obviously easier said than done, but moving away from all of these things, dismissing them from their mind. And the easiest way to do that is to actually distract yourself. You have to distract yourself with the senses. It's much easier to enter a state of receptivity when you're out here and you have the breeze blowing against your skin. That's easy to meditate on. When you have the waves you can look at, the seagulls passing over your head, the sun and the way the sun shimmers off the surface of the water, the clouds, the people, all these things, if you allow them to, will open you up to receptivity. They make you receptive. In order to turn off your brain, you got to turn on your 5 senses. Or when I say brain, I mean that conscious mind sending signals.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How I'm supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in.
How'd you get that done so quick? They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there. You understand?
You guys finished your work 6 hours early? He's not tapped in.
It's hump day, a grifty hump day. It's time to get into it.
2, 1, boom. Hotep Jesus.
Of all the Jesuses I know, he's the Hotepiest. Social scientist and YouTube host, Hotep Jesus.
How the fuck do you get a name like Hotep Jesus?
The one and only Hotep Jesus.
Ryan Sharp, better known to the world as Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Somebody said, what do you think you are, some kind of Hotep Jesus?
Ooh,
And
that's
I was
good.
Just like, ooh, that's sexy. Yes, I do think I'm Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
What's up, people? We back. Grift Report. With your host, the Grift God, Hotep Jesus. Here. Every day, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Before I forget, this contains adult humor and was created strictly for comedic and artistic purposes. No offense is intended toward any private individuals featured in this video. Let's get that out the way. It might get spicy. You never know. Depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Today I'm in a very big brain mood. I did a little bit of organization before stream today, so my mind is very clear. My mind is very clean. So we're going to get into some big brain stuff today. We're going to get into some little brain stuff today. Some people's brains aren't even working. We're going to look at that in just a second here. Why? Oh, there it is. Okay. So let's show you what I got in the bag for today. Mitch McConnell, short-circuited. I want to take a look at that. We got lots of CBDC news to look at. That's our big brain content of the day. We're going to look at Zelensky. Obviously, we're going to cover race. We're going to cover Jason Whitlock and Sonny Johnson last night. Dating, Twitter, and Sneeko. We're going to take a look at this Sneeko. Never thought I'd be covering Sneeko on this channel, but Rolo tagged me in this. He said he has another candidate for Grift of the Year. We're going to take a look at that. But first, let's pick up where we left off yesterday. First, let me say hi to the chat. Make sure the chat is good. Chat, what up, y'all? How y'all feeling? Hope everyone's doing well. Hotep to the chat. Hotep Boule in the chat. Hotep Boule was at HotepCon. Appreciate you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. K's in the chat. I see Rudy in there. What's going on over on YouTube? What up, YouTube? Took my master focus today. I only missed one day this week. I think I missed yesterday. But I'm taking my master focus and increase my dose because, I missed a few days. I do not recommend you doing that, but give me a little bit of extra kick. So, let's start off right here. We're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. We're going to go to Sneeko. See what the hell Sneeko's talking about. So, yesterday, Rob Smith, had a little, on Monday, had a little back and forth with Sonny Johnson. And was basically talking about how he's only for, pushing black people to cultural conservatism and doesn't care about black votes. And I was like, I can pull receipts up, but I really didn't feel like doing all that because he's not important. And most importantly, because I knew somebody else to do the work and somebody else did do the work. And here they have here. It says, no, says Rob Smith, Trump will run things he's done in order to encourage black voters to turn out for him. The black establishment is terrified that there will actually be a real fight for the black vote for the first time in years based on results and not rhetoric. So here he's obviously concerned with the black vote. When we go to the next tweet, it says right here, as he has on his conservative as fuck shirt, and it says why this black gay man is voting for Donald Trump. And it says the black vote for Trump increased by 33% from 2016. The LGBT vote for Trump doubled from 2016. Listen to the reasons why I voted for Trump and stay strong. We got this. So you can see here in 2020, when it was prime, November 4th, 2020, when it was prime grifting season, he was very optimistic about the black vote. Then he said later on, well, let's see exactly what he said. I don't want to mince words here. In regards to the black vote, and here it is right here, and it says, but anyone who is telling you that the black vote will be 20 to 25%, let's make sure you see that good, for Republicans in 2024 is not being honest. In fact, they're lying. They lie to you about lots of things. So here he's pretty much done a 180, you know, and says black people are unlikely to vote in any real numbers for Republicans. Not for Trump, not for DeSantis, not for Tim Scott. Yet, that's not what he said before. His old tune was blacks are voting for Trump at an increased rate, blah, 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 blah. So this is, again, just double speak, hypocrisy, et cetera, et cetera. Some of the things that Cindy Johnson was highlighting in her Twitter spaces. Let's go to Sneeko. Let's see what the hell Sneeko's talking about here. It says here, Sneeko on why red pill content is dying and why he's moving on. Hotep and Bill to the chat. What up, y'all? Yes, yeah. Shout out to Jabari, one of the producers of the show. Yes, Sunny is still going off on Twitter Spaces. Absolutely, she is. He said Rob used to do Vice videos. You think he wants to be an actor? Yeah, maybe. You trying to get a bag for a bigger shirt? Y'all crazy. All right, let's see what Sneeko got to say. Let's dive into this right here. Sneeko on the red pill. Manosphere.
IRL streaming is what I want to do now. There's only so long. You can only do this for so long.
So basically what he's saying here is, you know, because people are asking, you know, what are you going to do now if you're done grifting off of the manosphere and masculinity content? And he's like, you can only do this for so long. And he's basically saying, I'm moving on to the next grift, right? This grift is dried up. But really what he's saying is the grift hasn't dried up. The money has. As you can see, a lot of the manosphere content gets demonetized and deplatformed. In fact, maybe I can show you what TikTok does to my stuff. Let me see here. Maybe it'll show you my view. Hold on. Shit crazy. I'm almost like pretty much banned from TikTok. Like, yeah, like, I don't know. Hold on, let me see if I can show you. Refresh, something went wrong. Okay, here we go. So it's, okay, so I got some of my stuff overturned. I'll show you what it looks like, though. My screen did not look like this the other day. So let's go here, and I'll come back to the Sneeko video in just a second. But if you look at my profile here, you'll notice on the right-hand side here that I that's crossed off. So that's banned content that, and then you see another one here. It says community guidelines violation, and I have a few of these. I've had to appeal. Yesterday I appealed maybe. There's another one on the right-hand side there, another one on the right-hand side there. Many of this stuff is masculinity content. And here's another one right there, another one to the right, and this one. So there's tons of content, especially on TikTok, that just, yeah, it just gets deboosted or blocked completely. TikTok, as of yesterday, said, what did they say? They said, my account. Oh, okay. So my account doesn't say that anymore. Yesterday, it had a warning, like you are about to lose your account. And then that's when I went in and started doing my appeals. Oh, so. All right. So look at this. So you know my Planet of the Apes video? Let me go back, because they put a warning on this video. I want to show you, like, I know this is run by Commie China. So this video right here, as you can see, it gets a sensitive content warning. So let's go ahead and watch it and see what's so sensitive about this. Planet of the Apes. Koba. Anybody remember Koba? These people are studiers of history. These people in Hollywood are well aware of their history. You think they named this evil monkey Koba for no reason? No. They were showing you Stalin in an ape form. This is Stalin in the movie. So next time you watch the movie, I want you to think of Stalin. I want you to think of how this ape acted towards other apes, okay? So the movie of Planet of the Apes has some communist innuendo. So they put a warning on that. Planet. You know, like, my life as a content creator fucking sucks because everything I want to talk about is like banned and deboosted. No matter what platform I go to. If I go to Twitter, it's deboosted. If I go to YouTube, matter of fact, I got my buffer set up to automatically post to my YouTube account, and Buffer is telling me, hey, we sent this video to your YouTube. And then when I click on the link to go view the post, YouTube says, yeah, this video actually does not exist. So the same videos that go to TikTok and TikTok says you're talking bad about communism, we're going to ban it. YouTube does pretty much the same thing, except I don't get a warning. They just don't post the YouTube short. So because this content can't be monetized, you'll have people like Sneeko, who is all about the money, and I'm not taking that away from him. Maybe he should be all about the money. He's a young kid, and he don't really know shit because he's a young kid. You know, he's going for the bag, and you know, Fresh and Fit just got demonetized over on YouTube, so they're very careful about, you know, what they say so that they can monetize themselves. So he said he's moving on to a new thing because, well, basically he can't monetize this stuff
for so long. Like, how much can you really talk about Neon Dating Coach? That's hilarious. But yeah, it's like, it's just so much more fun. I can't even lie. And let's be honest, the red pill is dying. It's over. It's over because like there was a lot of hype around this, like, oh, the Matrix, bro, how do we make it out? And then like there's this excitement, there's hype around it. And I got in at the right time, hit the wave at the right time. You know, I was red pill raging when the red pill was blowing up.
You heard he said he got in at the right time, right? So this is strategic timing by said Grifter and Sneeko.
So it was perfect, you know, screaming at a camera, wake up, wake up. And then now like, okay, you know, live life now. Can't be screaming at a camera about Satan every single day. We are going to talk about the transgender because it's...
So he's talking about basically what most people go through when they first get red pilled. There's this like rage and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening, blah, blah, blah. And then it kind of settles in and then you stop talking about it. We don't stop talking about it, but a grifter would because he can't monetize it anymore because nobody's interested.
Streaming Awards was yesterday. I was watching that. I was tired, so I didn't stream. I should have been streaming that live. I want to react to that. They did diss me, and there was, you see who won Breakout Creator of the Year? So there are bits and pieces to talk about, but it's like, there's only so much you could say about the red pill, right? Get a girl with a low body count, don't watch porn, go to the gym. Boom, done. That's like, you sum up most of like, instead of repeating it, and that's when you guys kind of get off on just seeing people like owning, it's like when you're 14 and you watch Ben Shapiro owns libs. Oh yeah, fuck that college girl, stupid bitch. Yeah, yeah. It's like not even anything improving about it. It's just WWE for fucking nerd incels.
That's true. That's true.
Again, it's so repetitive, bro. Red pill will never die. No, of course it will never die, dummy. But it's just the red pill is just the truth. You know? And it's just... You know what's really not red pilled? Talking about the red pill all day long, nonstop. Actually being red pill, if you talk about truth, is going and enjoying life, becoming better every single day, being around good people, having a good circle, enjoying the world. Like, that's the best thing you could do with your life. You know what's really fucking blue-pilled and gay is just being a nerd who talks about red pill shit all day long. It's funny how religious texts will always say that being gay is bad. The gayest thing you could do with the internet, because there's so many possibilities, is argue with other nerds online about religion constantly. That's gayer than being at a gay pride parade.
well, this book.
I know it's not gayer than being at a gay pride parade, but I do agree it's pretty gay. I always talk about that. Y'all be arguing people online.
This Trinity, this is the Crusades.
You're gay. You're gay.
Bomboka!
I'm sorry. If you are spending more time because they're like, yeah, gay people are going to go to hell. Well, you're going to go to hell because all you're doing is arguing for 4 hours straight with some nerds on Discord. You don't even know who that is. It's another dude. And you're falling asleep on Discord debating the same talking points all day long. And you're still poor. And you still get no bitches. And you still couldn't, even if you're waiting until marriage. You still got nothing going on with your life. So what are you doing? That's the most blue pill shit, is just always talking about the same fucking things. We get it. Porn is bad. Haram! Don't do that. It's a sin. That's trannies. Like, oh my God, we get it. Can I go outside now? You dissing the thing that made you famous? Nigga, I've been famous. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been doing this for 10 years. And I think one of the new criticisms that I'm getting is like, Sneeko is always like changing. What, I'm always trying to make different types of content? What you put on the internet, especially if you've been doing it for as long as I have, what you put out on the internet is not the definition of who you are. Some things are fun to do. I like doing different types of stuff. I like talking to different people. There's the Rumble audience, you guys, the Rumble audience.
All right, I can't watch this guy anymore. I'm sorry. Well, we're just gonna have to move on. I'm sorry. I'm bored. Anyway, let's move along. I don't know why Rolo tagged me in that. Let's get to some more pressing matters. Matter of fact, let me get this out of here. I don't even know why Rolo tagged me in that. So going back to the race grift, Jabari has given a super chat here. It says $20 super chat. What up, Jabari? Thank you, bro. He says, can't wait for these 2016 black conservatives to be shown the door. Hopefully some of the Republican campaigns have been listening to these Twitter spaces and see better options such as yourself and others to get the message out. Yeah. I take a check from the RNC or the GOP. I take a check. Likelihood of that happening, I don't know. Anyway, let's go back here. So the other day we had the shooting, and we said that what they were going to do is, so this is the End Wokeness account, these right-wing media accounts. End Wokeness actually follows me. I do not follow End Wokeness. I don't know why I would want to follow them. 1.5 million. Yeah, you get a lot of traction, but as soon as a shooting took place of some black people, they didn't talk about that. It's like, oh, whataboutism. So I just want to show you that example from a really large account. And Wokeness, 1.5 million. Whataboutism, talking about, oh, white people gunned down in Hampton, GA. And you didn't hear about this because it didn't fit the narrative. So we knew this was going to come. And I'm not saying he's wrong, but we knew this was going to be their response. And this is usually why the right can't win, because it's just playing whataboutism. So let's get rid of that. Let's stuff this away. Let's talk about Elon's bitch ass. So Elon says, safety from Twitter. Says Twitter has a responsibility to put the right systems in place to ensure our communities have access to open and accurate and safe political discourse. It just kills me that they say safe political discourse. What's dangerous political discourse? I don't know. That's why we're hiring more people, updating our policies, and evolving our product. So basically, they're going to be hiring people to the Twitter Safety and Council all over again, no, just people grifting off of a separate topic. So yeah, keep an eye out on that. Shit could get really, really weird. Let's talk about Coach Greg Adams' tweet right here. Coach Greg Adams is hold on a second. He got cut off here. He says, never tell a woman your personal business. I don't care if she's your wife, girlfriend, or baby mother. Trust me, you'll end up regretting it more likely than she will put this information to good use. Now, is he wrong? He's not wrong. he's also missing some nuance. And it's the difference between a woman and a bitch. What this really should say is never tell a bitch your personal business. I don't care if she's wife, girlfriend, or baby mother. See, when you're dealing with bitches, this is the type of shit you got to worry about, them weaponizing your personal information. What he's really saying is, if you have poor character discernment, especially in the female department, live your life in a cage. Live your life protected and defensive. If you are married to a woman that you have to cage yourself from, defend yourself from, and create protections from, you should just file for divorce. You should just leave that woman. If it's your girlfriend, you should leave her. If it's your baby mother, you should leave her. You should leave her. There are good women out here you can tell your personal business to, and they will not weaponize it. Are they super rare? Absolutely. Absolutely. Super fucking rare. Super, 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 super rare. But that's going to come down to how well you're able to discern people's characters. And I think a lot of this comes back to when men judge women, they judge women based upon what they say and not what they do. You have to judge a woman by what they do and start to subtract points for various different things. Because, and I don't want to go into those various different things, but one of them is probably the overconsumption of cosmetics. The likelihood of her maintenance, if she's high maintenance, then she's probably got her priorities fucked up. So people that usually have their priorities fucked up means that they care about material things more than other things. They care about lifestyle, luxury more than lifestyle quality. So be very careful. You know, I would say if you are afraid to tell a woman your personal business, you should not procreate with her. You should not make her your girlfriend. You should not make her your wife. And practice safe sex. And there are very few women out here that you can actually trust. So if you feel like that, why'd you get into a relationship with that woman? Why'd you marry that woman? If I marry a woman, please believe I should be comfortable telling her my personal business. You know what I mean? Now, does that mean she have to know everything in your closet, all your skeletons? No. I mean, you can keep, there's some secrets you might want to keep, about your past, ex-girlfriends you had and shit, and the threesomes and all that. She don't need to know everything, But the fact of the matter is, we need to tighten this up, right? We just need to tighten this up from Coach Kirk Adams and say, never tell a bitch or a hoe your personal business. And if you can't tell somebody your personal business, then you should not make her your wife, girlfriend, or baby mother. And really what this comes down to is your lack of discernment of character. And what we need to do is improve our vetting process when we're vetting women for dating. Y'all arguing in the chat? He said ADL and WEF got their hands up Elon's butt. Probably. I wouldn't doubt that. And I know they got their hands in the safety situation. She is my best friend and understands we both succeed. Shout out to AK. He said his wife is a ride or die. Familiar Human said his wife is a ride or die. Yeah. That's love.
Hotep.
What's funny is the shooter the other day was Chinese and nobody wanted to talk about that shit. I thought that was hilarious. All right, looks like we're going backwards in this thing, so we're going up. So last night, Sonny Johnson was in a Twitter Spaces with Jason Whitlock. She texted me earlier today and said, "Hey, Hotep, I'm gonna be on with Jason Whitlock." I looked at my phone like, huh? I don't think that's gonna go too well. That's how I thought in my head. I didn't say it to her because I didn't want to jinx anything or spread any bad negative energy. And so she went on Twitter Spaces last night with Jason Whitlock, and lo and behold, what happened? He kicked her out the room. He didn't like when, and like a lot of people say, "Oh, Sonny's loud and belligerent." She wasn't loud. I only caught 5 minutes. in fact, when I logged on, like somebody tagged me and they said, Hotep Jesus, are you in this Twitter Spaces? I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot Whitlock and Sonny are on tonight. So I joined in the Twitter Spaces. I think at the time I was getting ready to like study or something like that, or I had just finished studying. I was reading up on Mao. And I was like, let me hop in this Twitter space. And I was in there for like 5 minutes. And then Sonny was just basically saying how she felt. And then Whitlock wanted to cut her off a couple of times. And then she was like, yo, I could be doing better things with my time. And then he kicked her out. He just booted her. You know what I mean? So I wanted to go back and listen to the whole thing, but I'm probably not, because it's just not a good use of my time. So Doob said, so I just popped into a shout out to President Hotep Doobs. He says, so I just popped into a Twitter space about blacks for Trump. And Jason Whitlock legit said that as long as black people do things like call each other nigga, then we shouldn't expect respect from the right. This is the silly shit I be talking about. Then he continues, he says, a brother brought up how the Jewish community quite literally never gets any political backlash or public down talking, yet black Americans get spoken about with reckless abandon. Whitlock's response was to ask Jewish people disrespect each other publicly. Yes, what the fuck? Hotep Goldstein says Whitlock is not black, he's an insurgent. Doob says, you hear the rumors, but he's so unremarkable, you're never compelled to look into him. Then the universe puts you in the same space as him, and you see it live. He's wearing a wire at the meetups. Oh, my Lord. Now, Whitlock does have a problem with the N-word, which I understand. I don't agree with, but I understand his take. But is that why? No, that's not why. That's not why the right doesn't respect people. You know who gets respect? There's only one type of person in this world that gets respect. You know who that is? Powerful people.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
When a group has no power, they get no respect. When a group has no power, they get no respect. And the black community has potential power, but not kinetic power. Or the kinetic power is usually in the wrong place, but it's usually potential power, not kinetic power. Because if black people had the same amount of power as Jewish people, or I should say the organization of Jewish people, whether they be Orthodox or non-Orthodox, then we'd be able to bully people too. We'd be able to say, you can't say that, and I can call each other nigga, and you can't say nothing. We just don't have any organization. We're a haphazard group, much like white Republicans. But niggas saying nigga to other niggas is not the reason why white niggas don't respect niggas.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Now, if you could bust somebody's ass, you gonna show them respect, right? Like, for example, when Brandon Tatum threatened me, he didn't respect me because, well, I'm skinny. And he's like, oh, I could whoop his ass. But when people his size, like when Cannon calls him out, he don't got that same energy for Cannon. He don't got that same energy for others. Why? Because they could bust his ass. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of this stuff comes down to power and the type of power you create and cultivate. It's very important for you to cultivate power. Let's move on. I don't want to spend too much time on this stuff. Very messy, grifty week this week. Oh my God, just very messy. It's about to get messier too. This video I feel is going to get really messy. I don't know what this lady's about to say, but let's take a listen. Let's see if she makes any good points here or if we disagree. I'm already alarmed because she's got the septum ring. Anytime you see a black woman with the septum ring, and she got the piercing here too, it's just like, oh, Lord have mercy, you've been hanging out with white liberals too long. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see. Black Queer Liberation is the title on this TikTok. Ugh, Black Queer Liberation. All right, let's listen to it.
Have you ever wondered why so many pro-black men are anti-feminism and homophobic? Unfortunately, it may be because of this black woman, Frances Cress Welsing. She wrote the ISIS Papers as an attempt to try to find what the root of white supremacy is.
Phenomenal book, by the way. The ISIS Paper, The Keys to Colors, is a book on white supremacy. And, well, I guess she's about to explain it.
Why it exists. And in her understanding, she determined that the cause of supremacy is to prevent the annihilation of the race.
First of all, I just want to address this this comment in the chat. I knew somebody was going to do this shit. I knew it. I knew somebody was going to do this shit. FYI, septum rings are indigenous. So they're going to pull up, some African tribe or some native tribe in the Americas and say, look, they did it first. Yeah, but that's not who these motherfuckers is channeling. Makeup started in Africa. Eyeliner started up in Africa several millennia ago. When bitches put on they fucking makeup, they're not going, oh, I want to look like the ancient Egyptians. It's a moot point, man. It's a moot point. We got to stop doing this shit, yo. It's like when they say, oh, black women, wear blonde wigs, and then they pull up some indigenous tribe on the other side of the fucking world where their hair is only blonde in adolescence. And go, see, we could wear blonde hair. No, that's not the fucking same. It's not the same. As she goes, and you know this because, how do I know this? Because all these feminists wear the septum ring. That's like, it's like a signal. It's like, let you know, I'm about to say some pro-queer shit, some pro-feminist shit. That's exactly what this is. So that's how I know. Let's go back. We got insurgents in the chat. Don't block them, though. Don't block them. Let them expose themselves.
Now, you may be wondering, what does this have to do with anti-feminism and homophobia? Well, she thought that black men were the main target of white supremacy because...
Hey, Moga Yoga, this is a call-in show, so when I'm done, you could call in and you can catch this debate. You gonna stick around for the debate? You gonna call in? Don't be scared. I want you to have that same energy on the phone.
Black men have the ability to annihilate the race through procreation. From that conclusion, she drew another conclusion that feminism is a supremacist ploy to get black women to economically advance so far that they no longer needed black men.
So far, it sounds like Dr. Frances Cress Welsing's on point.
And that the black family unit would be destroyed, and then there would be no procreation of black people. Which, when you think about it, is really sad because it reduces women to their role as an incubator for the next generation. But black women weren't the only marginalized group within the black community that she had a problem with. She also thought that homosexuality was a agenda to prevent the procreation of black people through emasculating the strong black man. In reality, the construction of cis heteropatriarchal gender roles and
cis hetero what? Yo, what university do they learn these terms in, yo?
Therefore, cis heteropatriarchal sexuality is a product of white supremacy, making her an agent of white supremacy.
Wait, what?
Through emasculating the strong...
See, they'll say something, but then they don't, like, back it up.
...black man. In reality, the construction of cis heteropatriarchal gender roles and therefore cis heteropatriarchal sexuality is a product of white supremacy, making her an agent of white supremacy through her anti-feminist rhetoric and her homophobia. If any of this sounds familiar, there's a reason for it. Pan-Africanist black men don't want liberation for all black.
I wish I could see the whole thing, man.
Have you ever wondered why?
So these are the young kids. These are the young kids that you know, go to college and, learn these new big words that the white man done taught them, that the white liberal done taught them, that people of whiteness have taught them, people on the left have taught them. And then they spew all these words. And then what they do is they attack like real black leaders, people who have stayed in the game, people who have put in the hours, the 10,000 hours and published, you know, historical work. And that's a part of destroying black legacy. Being a black leftist is part of it is destroying black legacy. So they'll attack people like Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. So anytime you see the septum ring, you got to know it's going to be talking about trans inclusion. And we're going to talk about inclusion in a minute, but it's going to be talking about trans inclusion, gay people, and all this other shit. All right, let's see what Zelensky talking about.
Я і Лінці сформулював дуже швидко, і він був дуже задоволений. Якщо наші парламентарі готові, чому? Тому що нам потрібні тоді зміни до законодавства у Виборчий кодекс. Якщо я сказав йому, ви готові мені дати 5 мільярдів.
5 billion?
Тому що я не людина.
And he says me. He didn't say, he said himself. He didn't say Ukraine. He said, give me 5 billion.
Яка займається бруківкою і не
Since I am not a person who deals with the cobblestones, I cannot just take 5 billion
зможу
from
просто
the budget.
забрати з бюджету 5 мільярдів, мені здається.
It seems to me this is exactly the amount needed to hold elections in peacetime. I don't know how much is needed in wartime. So I told him that if the U.S. and Europe provide financial support, I'm sorry, I'm not asking for anything. I'm not going to hold elections in credit. I will not take money from weapons and give it to elections. And this is stipulated by law. And there are moments with foreign countries. Here we need Europe to help us for the most part because Ukrainian refugees are in the majority in the European Union. And we need to open up appropriate opportunities there so that people could come to the polls. We don't have such infrastructure capabilities. 7 million people have to vote. We need every vote. So they can't hold elections in Ukraine. So obviously democracy is dead in Ukraine right now. The country's under martial law, which basically suspends many pieces of legislation, which is something that all the conspiracy theorists, including Alex Jones, have talked about. My brain just did a fork again. I think mentioning Alex Jones might not be a good idea, but should I stop mentioning Alex Jones's name just because I'm going to get deboosted? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't say Alex Jones' name and don't say this and don't say that because I'll get deboosted. Like, no, like, kiss my ass. Anyway, so now we have to pay for their elections. Meanwhile, over here, we got all types of evidence of voter fraud and suppression and shit like that. And nobody seems to care. We got gerrymandering. You know, that's the one thing about the black left. You know, when I heard the black left say that the right is looking to diminish the black vote, I didn't dismiss it right away, mostly because I had no concept of what they were talking about. And then I listened to the arguments and I did the research and I'm like, it seems like the Republicans and the Democrats are participating in the suppression of the black vote. They try to say it's just Republicans, but according to the way that they do their districting and gerrymandering, it is a form of voter suppression. And they keep moving the districts and changing it based upon the demographics. Like, okay, Democrats, you get the black people, and Republicans, you get the white people. It's just like, y'all got like voter segregation. So there's some cooperation as to who's going after whose voters and not. So really, really, really strange. So this is a call-in show. We will get to the callers. I got a bunch of big brain content. Obviously, you see I saved some time to go through it. But first, Mitch McConnell he had a meltdown. His brain malfunctioned. Let's take a look.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
So he asked him about running for a re-election in 2026.
That's,
And there it
Did you hear
is.
the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
This is how my grandfather was when he was
All
in
right, I'm
the,
sorry, you all. We're going
in
to
the
need a
home.
minute. Senator. Benny.
This is sad. Now he's back.
Okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
Wait, what? Oh, wait, hold on. Time out, time out, time out. Oh my God. Yo. This dude had a clear brain malfunction. And Shorty goes, all right, next question after he comes back too. No, let that man go sit down somewhere. Go get this man some master focus. What? You just gonna keep going? Yo, these motherfuckers are brutal. And this is what they do to Biden, man. They'll dope him up on some probably meth or some shit like that, some methamphetamine, and then send him out there. But dude had a clear brain malfunction. If this happened to one of my family members, we'd be rushing him to the hospital. We'd be going to the doctor. We'd be sitting him down and trying to get him some herbal treatments. I'd be calling up Rook and Tanah like, yo, we need some help. I wouldn't be like, let's continue the conversation. Are we serious? Is this what we doing? Wow. Wow. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, let's get into the big brain conversation. Then we're going to open up phone lines. If you want to get in on the phone lines, text Hotep in your name. Text Hotep in your name to 202-596-5631. 202-596-5631. Text Hotep in your name to that number, and we'll get to the phone lines. Do it expeditiously. All right, we're going to go bottom to top as usual. No, let's go top to bottom because that bottom one is pretty important. So let's go to this first one here. Put this on your screen. This is from a company called Wealth Management. And it says central bank digital currency and the future of money, right? And it has a couple of key points here and some explanations. And I'm going to skip most of this and just come right down to my highlights here. And so it says here, make money fast and cheap. So basically saying this is the fast food of money. That's the analogy that they're making here. So really what they're saying is the CBDC is going to reduce costs and increase access to payment services. And when we get to the other article, he's basically going to say, oh, this is bullshit. So we'll show you that in a second. Second, it says reduce transaction processing times, so-called float risk as suppliers wait for payments to clear. So the clearing houses would be cleared out, I guess. And then it says right here, which is the interesting part, there are other potential benefits that CBDCs can create by reducing counterfeiting, cutting production and distribution costs. And right here it says, potentially helping policy implementation. What do they mean by that? Basically, what they're saying is you can program the money. Program the money to support the policy, to go along with the policy, to follow the policy. It's funny they say that because they says, but we think those are of secondary importance. When really, I think, policy implementation is probably the primary thing for why they want to roll out the CBDC. So anyway, it says here, why a CBDC won't be coming to a Federal Reserve near you anytime soon. Soon is subjective. So it says here, economists in general like efficiency, but the flip side is that efficient systems lack the redundancy that make for stability. Wait, what? Efficient systems lack the redundancy that make for stability? We think that having a single point of failure for dollar payments in a world that uses the greenback for all manner of trade is, in a nutshell, a terrible idea.
In one move, we think the U.S. would create an unparalleled target for hackers and thieves, not to mention terrorists or geopolitical rivals. Even a cursory look at the history of electronic security shows a risk of centralizing data and wealth. Okay. Okay, yeah, so I can see that. A single point of failure. But the way the CBDC works, there is not a single point of failure. Especially if you follow the RLN, the Regulated Liability Network, and then they have the different relay points in the network. So it's centralized, but it's decentralized. So I don't know if that's correct, but I'd love to hear from other experts on this manager. It says, put aside potential bad actors. What about software update that goes wrong? What? Yo, the entire financial system runs on software. Like, banks get hacked. Like, what are we talking about here? All right, this is a very bad. That's very bad. All right, let's keep going down to my other highlights. So it says China's in the lead. That's true. We've talked about that in the past, that China's in the lead. So yeah, this is an article here by rbcwealthmanagement.com. And it says, rather than fully transition to a CBDC, we expect the Fed and most other central banks to take a more measured approach, closely integrating technology to achieve efficiency, but operating in parallel with existing payment structures. Take, for instance, FedNow, a new real-time payment system created by the Federal Reserve. Like a CBDC, we've talked about this before, that FedNow is basically the railway for a CBDC. So it says here, like a CBDC, the system allows immediate electronic settlement, but critically, it operates between depository institutions. The limited scope reduces security concerns, while competitive forces should eventually bring FedNow's time and cost savings to individual customers. So this looks like a little bit of a bait and switch where they're like, hey, let's sell them on the FedNow. People go, okay, so the FedNow is safe. But like we said, the FedNow is more of like an on-ramp for the CBDC. So it's like, let's down talk the CBDC, let's up talk the FedNow, then later on we'll circle back and say, oh, the CBDC wasn't as bad as we initially said. So it says the case for a CBDC is also weakened by the rise of large global commercial banks. Many of the benefits of centralizing payments are already occurring, as trade between multinational companies is often settled at one of a dozen of truly global banks. These banking services are not free, but they have the potential to deliver many of the efficiencies provided by a CBDC without the baggage of centralized control. We think the Fed is likely to continue studying a digital dollar and running pilot programs. It would be unwise not to, since the dollar's preeminent role in trade may someday require a digital currency. We believe the Fed may even launch something it's called the digital dollar. Even in practice, it's just a check the box exercise to show the U.S. also has the latest shiny new toy. So this article here is trying to downplay America's involvement in a CBDC. But let's go to the next article. It says Russia is ramping up its CBDC. Will Putin's robot ruble work? So Russia, like I told you before, is in the CBDC race. Okay. Why is this? Why is it? I hate that it doesn't expand. Anyway, you guys can see it from there. It says the August curse has spared the Kremlin this year, but the same cannot be said of Russia's central bank. Now, pay attention here, because what they're saying is, because Russia's central bank has been threatened, maybe now is a time for the CBDC. It says the month has periodically been the venue of political surprises in Russia. Putin apparently shot down any doubt that he retains full power. He says, however, a massive exchange rate crash brought on by lower export revenues and higher capital outflows has made for a much bumpier month 1 mile north of the Kremlin, right? Inside the Russian central bank. And that's where the other article was talking about, trying to downplay the, America getting involved in the CBDC, the Federal Reserve getting involved in CBDCs. And they're trying to downplay all of this, right? And in order to understand the CBD conversation, you have to study it internationally, because they said in the other article about global banks, right? So let's look at these global banks, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at several global banks and look at how they're operating and why they're operating in this manner. So we know that the central bank is likely to increase, well, they did increase interest rates. It's up to 12%, trying to manage inflation. And it says, yet on the same day, the bank went ahead with plans to roll out the pilot of its own central bank digital currency. 3 weeks earlier, the digital ruble had been added to the list of legal non-cash methods of payment in an amendment signed by Putin. So Putin's is saying this CBDC is a legal form of tender. So coverage of this on August 15th was overshadowed by the rate hike. But the digital ruble, as some are calling it, or the robot ruble, is getting substantial attention since, both within and outside of Russia. What is Russia trying to accomplish with the CBDC? So it says, coming after almost 3 years of research and exploration by Russia's central bank, current pilot programs in partnership with 13 commercial banks in 11 Russian cities are meant to test the CBDC's basic operations. Russia joins the like of India, China, Japan, Turkey, Iran, and 15 other countries that are in the pilot phase of their CBDC exploration. For the first time, Russian citizens will be able to use the digital ruble while making purchases in 30 retail shops as of August 15th. Some Russian whose name I can't pronounce, looks like some sort of bank, allows users of its apps to pay participating business goods and services with digital rubles for 0.3% fee, right? Cool. So let's see here. It says there are central interesting caveats that the central banks have been public about. Anatoly Aksakov, head of the Russian Parliamentary Committee on Financial Markets, stated that the smart contracting feature of the wallets could be used to restrict undesirable payments. So this is what we're talking about, total control of money, right? And CBDC, right? So this is actually gonna help you fight like internal terrorism and all types of things, so you can just turn their wallet off, right? So the financial world is about to transform dramatically. Shit is crazy. Like, this is the newest form of colonization. So other articles will say, hey, when United States rolls out their CBDC, it won't have these features. But Russia is being upfront and honest and saying it will have these features for theirs. It says, while the bill that Putin signed did not provide limits or caps on spending, it gave central bank authority to do so. So the central bank is calling the shots on the CBDC, which is pretty obvious. Russia is likely to follow other central banks that have limitations on how much can be held and spent in these accounts. Russia is likely to follow other central banks that have limitations on how much money can be held and spent in these accounts. So there's going to be limits to how much of this money you can have and spend and where and all this stuff. So this Russian dude said in July that the digital ruble should be exchangeable with other foreign CBDCs. Now, remember I told you before, the world is dividing itself between East and West. And how I'm now understanding CBDCs are, they're digital borders. These are now digital borders. So transacting in other currencies is going to be highly limited and controlled, because right now you can take your cash, you can go to the airport, you can go anywhere and just exchange it for another currency. Once we go CBDC, that is not going to be the case. Your wallet's going to need to be authorized, provide, identification, all these other different things, and then maybe you'll be able to exchange with other CBDCs, but they'll say, hey, you can't get any ruble because our CBDC does not work friendly with these other currencies. So that's really what's going to happen. You have BRICS, and then you have the Western world. So BRICS is going to have a bunch of different CBDCs, but they're going to have a cooperation between the CBDCs. Whoops. I did not want to go to that link, but central bank digital currency tracker is something you guys should look up and keep together. Now, look at this. It says here, the Russian central bank official in charge of the digital ruble project, Olga whose surname literally means soon to be rich. Yeah, she's a very wealthy woman. I read about her before. Highlighted the need for bilateral agreements between countries. This is what I was just talking about, which would allow any cross-border payments to actually happen. So far, no countries have publicly expressed interest and significant players such as China and India are not likely to for the foreseeable future. That's what they say now. They say even newly announced plans to expand the BRICS group, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And yesterday I told you about the richest dude in India looking into the CBDC. He said are unlikely to spur action in the near term. So that's what AtlanticCouncil.org is saying, right? And it says Olga also cited the ability to replace the SWIFT messaging system as a motivation for developments. Like I said, the entire financial system is going to be an overhaul. But the thing is, just like when Vivek says he wants to completely collapse the Board of Ed, and that's a really bad idea from an economic point of view, you really don't want to like quickly shutter an economy because there are just so many different consequences and trade-offs that could happen, right? So the same thing here with the global international system. You got SWIFT and you got all these other different clearinghouses. And it's like, well, as we move to the AWS, what happens to these entities? Same thing happened with the marijuana industry. Everybody's like, what took so long for so many states to legalize marijuana? Because they had to make sure their people were in place to benefit. What's going to happen to all the revenue from arresting people for these crimes? Where's the revenue? So now they have to, calculate the tax structure on things. Now it's 30%, 20% in some places when you sell marijuana. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to figure out what's going to happen to SWIFT, what's going to happen to the various clearinghouses, what's going to happen to the World Bank, what's going to happen to, or what's their role in it. And then it's like the training of these people. They got to have another Bilderberg meeting to say, here's what a CBDC looks like. Here's what we can do with it. Here's the idea. So they're going to have a couple of Bilderberg meetings to figure out, what are they going to do with this currency as it comes about? Now, once they figure all this stuff out, then you're going to have like the slow rollout and they'll move SWIFT to something else. They'll move the clearinghouses to something else. The IMF will govern in a certain, manner or faculty of some sort. And that's how this thing will roll out. Hold on. We got more. Jamaica CBDC. Let's take a look at that. Jamaica CBDC, interesting how they want to roll out. So it says here, transport operators in Jamaica have expressed interest in using the country's central bank digital currency for payments. So it's like taxi drivers. My highlights disappeared. I'm not going to curse. So their CBDC, which has already been created, is called Jamdex, right? JAM-DEX, and they're trying to push it within the taxi community, right? And this guy Antonio, Aldo Antonio, co-founder and acting executive chairman of the National Transporters Alliance, he says that the CBDC can increase operational efficiency and reduce costs and security risks for bus and taxi drivers. So basically trying to make more money, because if you cut costs, you make more money, right? So I see Jamdex as something that would be significantly transformative to the public transportation sector and needs to be embraced. So again, like I said before, many countries are going to use poor people to sell the CBDC, right? And we know poor people are the ones that are using public transportation the most. So let's force people, say, hey, look, you want to get on this bus? You're going to need to use CBDC, so they're going to have to begin to participate in the CBDC. It says the Central Bank of Jamaica launched Jamdex, short for Jamaican Digital Exchange, in 2022. However, there has been lack of enthusiasm among bus and taxi drivers regarding CBDC, primarily due to slow adoption rate amongst vendors and consumers. So he says right here, if we can get Jamaicans to use Jamdex, it says, Antonio, he says, if we can get Jamaicans to use Jamdex for transportation payments on a daily basis, it will accelerate the distribution of the digital currency. Basically saying If we can get the poor folk on, we can begin to roll it out in other areas of their life. If we can do it in transportation. And this is the big thing around the world. They don't know how to get people to start using the CBDC. Nobody wants to. Everybody's, people are stuck in their own ways, right? So they're trying to figure out how to do it. So they want to force them and say, well, if we make the transportation payments this way, then it'll accelerate the distribution of the digital currency. So this is all about, how to proliferate the CBDC. Then it says right here, in total, 11 countries have fully launched a CBDC, which includes, of course, China, the Bahamas, Nigeria, Angola, Anguilla. How do you say that? Jamaica and 7 Eastern Caribbean countries. What do you notice about the countries that have a fully launched CBDC? They're all black people. And these countries aren't owned and controlled by black people. China owns some of these countries. Europe owns many of these countries. Huge European influence all throughout the Caribbean countries. Of course, we know China's going to have a CBDC, but the fact that the rest of these countries are all in the Caribbean, what it's basically saying is these are our test subjects. We're going to test the CBDC there, see how we can get these countries' citizens to adopt the CBDC. Then we'll take what worked there and roll it out in the other countries. Okay, so black and brown people are under attack, and black and brown people, maybe it's not say black and brown people because I hate that. Black people, because that's what it is. We black people, ain't no brown people. Brown people are not included with us. I'm so sorry. I love y'all, but y'all not included with us. Black people, black countries are being targeted. We are the test dummies for this shit, and we will be the test dummies when it comes to America. Let's go to the next story. And this is the last one, and then we'll open up phone lines. If you want to get on the phone lines, text 202-596-5631, 202-596-5631. Text that with Hotep in your name, and we'll get you on the phone lines. So here's another article. It says here from Cato Institute, and I like the people who wrote this. This is very interesting. And it says CBDC, inclusion of the unbanked or illusion. Keep in mind the word inclusion. This is the new DEI. They're going to push DEI through, or CBDC through a lens of something like DEI, inclusion. It says here, bank the unbanked. So again, they're going after people who are allegedly poor. Janet Yellen's quoted here. It says too many Americans don't have access to easy payment systems and banking accounts. And I think this is something that a digital dollar or central bank digital currency could help with, says Janet Yellen. And really, later on in this article, he's going to talk about bank accounts. He's going to say, these people don't have bank accounts. When the CBDC rolls out, you won't need a bank account.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
You won't have a bank account.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
And your bank won't exist.
Oh, this is a real Hotep brother.
Remember, I told you that. Anyway, a well-designed CBDC is uniquely positioned to address barriers to inclusion, including by offering the unbanked alternative pathways to open transactional accounts and participate in the digital economy. And this is Henry Fingerhut, whoever the hell that is. Let's see who that is so we can keep an eye on this slithering fuck. All right, I'm not going to spend time on that. But we'll have to look up who Henry Fingerhut is. Hold on. Actually, let me just do this right now. Policy manager. What does it say here? At Bar Standards Board. Oh, MIT graduate. Yeah. Definitely well connected. CBDC. So Bo Lee, whoever that is, says CBDC could strengthen usability, resilience, and efficiency of payment system, increase financial inclusion. So again, they use the term inclusion. I want you to see how many times they use inclusion here. Then it heads up this section here. It says CBDCs and financial inclusion in the United States. And it says American households not having access to a bank account, right? Do I have my highlights in here? Okay, good. I do have my highlights in here. Cool. So let me just do a quick skim here. So it says deeper within the survey, the FDIC asked these Americans why they do not have a bank account. And it says they don't have enough money to meet the minimum balance requirements. Don't trust banks. Avoid a bank gives more privacy, and bank account fees are too high, right? And he said, so they rebuttal here, and they say whether it's because someone lacks the money to meet minimum balance requirements or to cover fees, a CBDC is not really a solution because the payment method itself does not increase someone's income. Sure, it's possible that governments might subsidize accounts to eliminate those costs on the front end. They will subsidize. But if such subsidies are to occur, they could be done using any consumer payment method. There is nothing inherently unique about a CBDC that is needed to make that happen. That is true. CBDC is not a necessity. Access to a CBDC or digital dollar is not the same as having access to a bank account. Correct. It says where a bank account opens the door for receiving loans, lines of credit, and other financial services, a CBDC does little more than offer access to digital payments. Correct. In fact, a CBDC is more akin to a prepaid card than a bank account. Who do prepaid cards go out to? Poor people. Poor people use prepaid cards. Poor people. So he identifies this right away and says a CBDC is like a prepaid card. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Poor people will be on a CBDC, aka a prepaid card, and they still won't have a bank account. You won't need one. They'll charge your card. Your card will be charged up, and then you'll go use that or use your fingerprint or some sort of optical recognition. And that's how you make your payments, like at Amazon. It says, although there are advocates that have called for it, governments getting into the business of commercial banking is a much bigger issue than creating a CBDC alone. Correct. I'm going to skip this and go down here. It says there are no shortage of options for policymakers looking for legislative barriers to remove in order to improve financial inclusion. Hold on a second. Ah, yes, this is it. So I do have a copy of my book, The Patriot Report, Unmasking Conspiracy of Money and War. Great document here. 200 pages and over 200 citations. Talks about the next point I'm about to say. To start, the Bank Secrecy Act is what legally requires banks to collect and report the personal information of customers to the government. Altogether, it cost financial institutions an estimated $45.9 billion in 2022, and those costs are passed on to consumers. Elsewhere, the Durbin Amendment, Section 1075 of the 2010 Dodd-Frank Act, established price controls that made it more difficult for banks to offer low-cost accounts. Even from the perspective of merchants, one study found that the Durbin Amendment had limited and unequal impact on reducing merchants' costs, and it produced unintended consequences for some merchants in terms of raising costs. Right? I want to read this concluding paragraph here because concluding paragraphs are very important. It says, rather than launching another new government intervention that is unlikely to address the problems faced by the unbanked, remove legislative barriers to a more competitive financial sector, has power to open doors for those outside of the financial system. It's time to drop the illusion of a CBDC inclusion and focus on reforms that can create substantive change. Today, yes, I agree. I agree with the majority of this article here. I don't want to be nitpicky and mention other things I do not agree with, but I just want to highlight and show you that your Fourth Amendment has been obliterated by the Bank Secrecy Act. And Bank Secrecy Act of 1980 really put the nail in the coffin. But there is no Constitution. The Constitution has been completely obliterated. But if you know how to use it and you got the right attorneys, you probably could get around this Bank Secrecy Act if you know what to cite, because you never gave the bank permission to share your personal records, or did you? Did you read the terms and conditions between you and your bank, and did you sign off and give them permission? So in conclusion, basically what I'm saying is once BRICS forms up and begins to threaten the dollar, they're going to use that, as I showed you in the other article, when it was talking about why Russia rolled out a CBDC basically to rescue their economy. Looking at the phone callers here. To rescue the economy, the same thing's going to happen here. They're going to say, hey, look, our economy's going to crash. We need to roll out the CBDC. Everybody's going to go, okay, good, go do it. And I think they're probably going to do that under Trump if Trump wins. Let's go to the phone calls, 202-596-5631, text, and then we'll get the callers in here. And I'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How am I supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in.
How'd you get that done so quick? They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there. You understand?
You guys finished your work 6 hours early? He's not tapped in.
Goldstein on the line. What up, Goldstein?
What's happening? Hey.
So you mentioned you were in the Twitter Spaces, and what'd you say exactly?
I was basically on Rob Smith's head about being gay, and I said, certain people with certain lifestyle choices shouldn't be put in certain positions because those lifestyle choices are indicative of the fact that you have a mental disorder. So if you have this mental disorder, how am I to trust, since you're denying reality in this aspect, how am I to trust that, politically speaking, you could have mine or my people's best interest at heart? Because you don't live in reality.
So basically you said homosexuality is a mental illness, and therefore these people are not fit to lead. Is that correct?
Yes.
What's Sonny say?
She said she does not feel that way, and she wanted to make it actually very clear that there are brilliant minds within that community, and their voices should not be shut out.
Yeah. She's cool with Vonnie. Vonnie's a former co-worker of mine, and he is a homosexual. But her and Vonnie are very close, and Vonnie's very vocal about, the black agenda and conservatism, and he's on our side of things, but he is gay. So she's definitely not going to be down with that shit.
Well, yeah, look, I'm not saying that they ain't got brilliant minds over there, and I'm not even saying that they don't have great ideas as it pertains to politics. My whole thing is you should not be in a leadership position. People shouldn't look to you as an authority in those areas because you're easily compromised. That's my whole thing.
Yes.
We can get ideas from them all day long, but just outside of the politisphere. You can contribute with your ideas, but you cannot lead. But that's just my opinion.
Well, it comes back to the fact that you think that, they usually give us those type of leaders.
Right.
They don't give us strong heterosexual leaders.
Yeah, I can't trust you because you may be sent. You may have been sent.
Yeah.
Already, you just on the list.
Right.
Stay out. Look, I don't think that me as an ex-felon, just to show that that I'm unbiased in this field. Me as an ex-felon, as well as an ex-junkie, I don't think I should be in certain leadership positions.
That's real.
You know what I mean? Because I've been compromised in those areas, and I can be compromised in those areas again. I like to think that I can.
Brother.
I like to think that I can. I like to think that I have the fortitude to be, but I wouldn't want to put my people's life on the line and risk it. There's other people who are more qualified.
That's real nigga shit right there.
So it's just one of them things. But yeah, hey, septum ring, nigga.
You seen the insurgent in the chat, right?
Yeah, I seen the insurgent in the chat. I want to remind them. I want to inform them. I shouldn't say remind, because clearly he didn't have this concept to begin with, but maybe I can illustrate it in such a way as to where going forward he can see clearly. That body modification that modern motherfuckers do, that they always try and link to some tribal people, that shit was passed down generation to generation with them. It means something. It has significance. You do it for fashion. So in essence, all you are, and this is, again, one of them clear-cut indications of a mental disorder, all you're in essence doing is you're cutting. You're a cutter. But you do it in the name of fashion. That's
Facts.
what you are, though. You're a cutter.
Oh, this
Now,
a real Hotep brother.
am I to listen to you and take in what you got to say as serious shit if I see all up and down both arms, you got a bunch of slices on your shit? I'm going to be like, well, nah, you probably ain't the best person to deliver this message. But with these motherfuckers, they steady punching holes in their face, which is the clear-cut sign, again, of self-hatred, all right? Because you just steady marring your visage. You just steady fucking your face up every chance you get. So clearly you didn't like what you saw before, right? But all you really, in essence, is doing, like I said, is you're a cutter. You just do it in the name of fashion.
A
There's
cutter.
no-
So when you say a cutter, you're talking about people who cut themselves as like a form of like, mental illness?
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
You're cutting yourself to fucking escape from whatever the fuck it is. You get addicted to that shit. You ain't trying to kill yourself because they ain't trying to kill themselves, right? But you do it because you just on one. And that's the same with motherfuckers who steady just, like I said, stabbing holes in their faces, all in their noses and their fucking eyebrows and all the rest of that weird shit. Like, you may be, again, a very bright, very astute individual, okay? But you shouldn't be put in certain positions. And that's what's wrong with the goddamn internet, is that it allows anybody to become a fucking Martin Luther King or some next great leader just because they made a 30-second fucking clip on a Chinese app.
Yeah.
So, people now, because that type of shit is so pervasive, people have to be even more discerning than they were before. But it's not hard, because all you got to do is, like I said, just adopt the fucking opinion in your personal life. Put that person in your personal life. If that person came up to you and said, hey, let me babysit your kids, right? You didn't know this motherfucker. They just kind of invited themselves into your life like they do on TikTok. They invite themselves into your life unannounced, a lot of times unwanted. But if that person said, hey, let me babysit your kids, are you going to do that? No. So if someone's saying, hey, let me babysit your worldview, you should probably consider that.
Say that last part again.
If they invite themselves into your life and they say, hey, let me babysit your worldview, you should probably consider that.
Why?
Yeah, 50 holes punched in their face. Complete goddamn stranger. 50 holes punched in their face saying, hey, let me in your life in this regard. Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Now, you got that in your mind. Now you can listen to what they got to say and then judge after that. But you automatically have to be skeptical. And if you do that, you will allow for the possibility that weird shit doesn't sneak into your everyday.
Yeah. Look at this comment here. It said Moga Yoga.
Yeah.
So Moga Yoga basically said the assumption that a septum ring equals feminism is the issue, though. Does a septum ring equal feminism?
I don't know. It could. In a lot of regards, it could. I just think it equals insanity, which goes hand in hand with feminism. But you just got to get down to the root of some shit sometimes. It's just insane. I'm going to punch a hole in my motherfucking nose, one of the pieces on my body that is vital to life. That's where you intake air. It's a whole different thing if you just punching a hole in your earlobe, okay? But you're going to go to a place that's vital for life and just start stabbing holes in that shit. That's weird. For what? What is you doing it for? Like I said, it's not like this was handed down for hundreds of years and it's a meaning. No, you got this shit from a motherfucker who got that shit from some other whole ass weird shit. All right, so you just basically handing down a weird ass, inconsequential, unsubstantive fucking tradition. That's what you're doing. Just because it looks cool.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck.
My issue is it's a defense mechanism. Like I was talking about yesterday, it's called pattern recognition. And some of us actually have it, right? And when you have pattern recognition, you start to see patterns. Like when I see somebody with BLM in the bio, right? Or I see them with their favorite sports team in the bio. Like these things exist because they become patterns. And what I noticed, there's a pattern between women with septum rings and these terrible ass leftist contrived talking points, because they're not opinions anymore. Like these feminists aren't giving us opinions. They're just giving us the leftist playbook.
Yeah.
The shit that they've been told to say. And I'm talking about what she's saying, and I say, yo, the septum ring, and because this nigga's name is Moga Yoga, he got some connection. Like, oh, that does that. You know, I get what he's saying, right? He's like, you know, like when motherfuckers steal the word woke. You know what I'm saying? We not saying the septum ring represents feminism. We saying the feminists have hijacked the septum ring.
Right.
And your gripe ain't with me, it's with them. Because they the ones running around giving this shit false meaning or no meaning. You ask them, you know, what does the nose ring mean? Why they get it? Oh, just cause. Because that's their tribal marker.
Yeah, yeah. And see, I'm not cutting the motherfuckers. I'm just saying, like, the motherfuckers who've been doing this shit for generations over there in Africa with big ass plates and shit and they live.
Yeah.
I'm not cutting them no slack, because I think it all descends from fucking insanity.
Yeah.
It's just they've been doing it longer. So it has cultural relevance. Babies are born and put into that position. They don't even know they're not making that choice. Right? Mm-hmm. You making an active, conscious choice to just do some shit because it looks cool. And like I said, it's just you got to care for the temple. You know what I mean? You got to care for the temple. And poking holes in that motherfucker ain't the business. Right? What's the one thing they always depict demonic possessed people as doing? Fucking up the body, cutting on the body. Right? That's what these motherfuckers been doing for thousands of goddamn years. Fucking up the body, cutting on the body. Right? There's no reason for that shit ever. You know, all the way down to circumcision. Mm-hmm. So my point being, you can't rock with that shit if you get a visceral reaction. You see it and you're like, what? Don't ignore that. Too many times we don't ignore that until weird shit just seeps into the cultural fabric. And that bitch is an insurgent all day long, not just from the way she looks, but from the shit she was saying, the app that she was on, and now the elevation that she's getting on everybody's algorithm. That's insurgent shit.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about the CBDC portion of the presentation today? Did you see anything? Am I missing anything? Because I know sometimes, you know, when I'm looking left, you looking right. When I'm looking right, you looking left. Did you see anything do I have any blind spots?
As far as the CBDC shit goes, you saw exactly what I was going to say, is that they always try these motherfucking shits out in areas where there's low risk and high reward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it doesn't work in a fucking Botswana some goddamn where, it's like, we'll just retool and try again. But if it works, now you come out looking like you done some shit. I done helped these disadvantaged people. Look at what we doing across the world. You know what I mean? So it's low risk, high reward. They roll out their CBDCs, they roll out their vaccines, they roll out their bioweapons, all in the same fashion. It's all the same pattern.
Vaccines,
that's
vaccines as well. Yes, correct. Vaccines as well. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems like, I just thought of borders when I thought of the CBDCs. It seems like the West has one and then the East has one. But we're definitely coming to a point where there's probably going to be an international CBDC. But America's going to want to hold on to exchange rate power. So it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe there'll be an IMF dollar or a World Central Bank dollar, and then they'll have a CBDC, and then they could be a network operator. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that they're going to hold on to this division amongst the CBDC rollout.
Yeah.
They're going to hold on to it just long enough to make sure that they can good cop, bad cop everybody into doing it.
Correct.
Because truth be told, bro, you see the division here in this country. Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, right? All Russia and China is, they're the conservative party of the earth. That's all they are. And they're playing the bad cop to the good cop and vice versa. So if you're a Russian and you're looking at the world, the West is playing the bad cop to Putin's good cop, to Xi Jinping's good cop. And all of them are working in collusion. The good cop, bad cop, your ass under the fucking heel.
Yes. Exactly.
These motherfuckers, they're not enemies. They just play one on TV.
Yes. That's what I believe. Jabari Judah, thank you for the super chat. He said, did you see what the U.S. government said about leaving Haiti? Nah, what they say? Put it in the chat, Jabari. I'll grab it from the chat. Put it in the chat. What the hell? Read My Soul said UBI will be the headline, but the details will be CBDC. Yeah, exactly. I got Strong Dad coming in next, man. Any closing thoughts, Ghostin? Anything we left off?
No, we basically covered it all. Shout out to Strong Dad. I hope you get out of jail soon, my dude. Get out of jail soon, man.
What? What you mean?
He'll tell you about it. That's his story to tell.
I bet.
All right, bro.
All right, later.
Later.
Strong Dad call in. Strong Dad, you got locked up, nigga? I was sitting here like, what the fuck happened to Strong Dad? Let me find out this nigga got arrested again. What the hell's going on, man? What you did, bro? You was out here looting? Were you out here looting, bro? Strong Dad was out here looting department stores. What happened, bro?
Call from
Strong Dad.
What up? Can you hear me good?
Yeah, you was out here looting, man. Huh? Yo.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Sorry. Here, hold on. All right. We good?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but yeah, first of all, TikTok put me in jail because I made a response video to the septum ring girl. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, I'm telling you right now, so I have 2 strikes, and I think I'm trying to fight against my 3rd strike because you know how they do. Yeah, but listen, I'm gonna call a little bit of haram on Goldstein.
Haram?
You know what I'm saying?
listen. Just hear me out, all right?
All right.
All the septum ring is just like the word woke. It belongs to us, and it has been co-opted completely. You know what I'm saying? But what we do in Africa, you know, we already went over that the Christian ideology is not ours. And it was the inclusion of all that made it wrong for body modification. But all those things have a real meaning in the African community, in the African zeitgeist. So, you know, just because we got these new blacks destroying it doesn't mean that doesn't belong to us, Goldstein. That is a very much a religious practice. And even when it's done in a fashion sense, that is also a cultural thing that just is within our blood.
When y'all want to set up the debate, we're going to have to set up a Twitter Spaces debate. I'm going to live stream it to YouTube and Rumble. We're going to triple grift. When y'all want to set the debate up, man? We're going to where Renee at? We're going to get Renee on the flyer. Y'all got to send y'all pics to Renee for the flyer. You're going to put y'all on boxes and shit.
We need enough things to disagree on in order for it to, because for the most part, I'm down the line with Goldstein, but sometimes that kufi is on just a little too tight. You know what I mean? And another thing that I wanted to push back on is the felon thing, man. I wholeheartedly disagree. I think felons are good people to put in positions of power if, in fact, it's a wise or a good felon. I mean, when I was leading them protests and them feds hemmed me up, they tried to get me to flip, and I've refused to flip. And what happened? I lost my job. You know what I'm saying? I got put in a court case, and I was willing to take that, all of that, because what I was doing was right, and what I was saying was right. So, you know, all it takes is the right felon to actually do some good. You know what I'm saying? If it was me, I would allow for felons to hold political office and all kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? I tried to be a firefighter when I was on my way out of prison. They wouldn't even let me be a firefighter because I'm a felon. And I'm just sitting here like, why can't I go out there and save the world? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I got to push back hard against some of those things. Because yes, I get it. We can be compromised, but we probably the least compromisable people out of the American public, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? If you got locked up and you didn't come out worse, if you got locked up and you came out with your head on your shoulders, that means you had to fight against every single thing that came at you. You had to fight against the homosexuals. You had to fight against the gangs. You had to fight against the guards. You had to fight against, you know, being an informant, being an op. You had to fight against all that in ways that normal people don't have to go through. And if you can make it out of that, then you can lead people into something better, which is, you know, I proved that when I was out there. I was leading people in the way they should have been being led, and the Fed said, we shutting you down. So I'm pushing back just a little bit on that. I mean, I get what he's saying, you know what I'm saying, because I got some homies who are corrupt, you know what I mean, and you can't give them no kind of power. They've been corrupt since the first day. They owed a debt to the prison store that was, you know, sky high. You know what I mean? Like they not ready for that kind of life.
Anime nigga said, Goldstein Kufi not on tape. It's wrapped around his brain.
Yo, I mean, listen. Listen, sometimes I agree with the tightness of Goldstein's Kufi. You know what I'm saying? And then other times I'm like, hey man, loosen it up a little bit. It's all right. You know what I mean? I get it. You're older, you know, older brother. You know, you come from, you know, a more stricter thought process, especially when you've been down for so long. So it makes sense that, you know, sometimes this Kufi is attached to the synapse. You know what I mean? And that's just how it has to be. But listen, man, I'm upset because my wife, she has septum.
She has what?
And she has a septum piercing and dreads. Okay. And my wife is really toxically masculine in the feminine sense. She be saying some stuff that could get that would get a sister canceled in 10 seconds. And it just breaks my heart every time I see one of these black girls with a septum ring and dreads just throw shame and shade, you know, to her, because it's like she can't even get it. Every time she get on the internet and say something, they just go ham on her off the basis that she should be, you know, on their side. They're like, look at you, queen, you're supposed to be with us. And it's like, you're right, it's like a calling symbol for them. You know what I'm saying? They done taken the whole thing and just bastardized it all. But that's
my issue. Yeah. That's my issue.
Yeah, they took it and they just, now you can't, man. When I made my response video, it didn't take but 5 minutes for them to guideline me. You know what I'm saying? And I feel you, man. I got like eight or nine videos that have been taken down just in the last month and a half. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was talking about the jab and why people shouldn't be taking it. You know what I'm saying? Got the misinformation one. I get a lot of the misinformation one. And, you know, occasionally I get the hate speech comment. But that's really all I have, man. You know what I'm saying? Goldstein, loosen up the kufi. Much love to the chat. Hey, it's my daughter's birthday today, man.
Oh, happy birthday, baby.
Yeah, she's gonna be 2 years old.
Yo, what we gonna do about TikTok, man? I can't even. I'm paying somebody to do clips. Every time I put a clip up, I get suspended from shit. The shit get boosted and shit.
It's we in America, man. You know, I bet you if we were somewhere else, the algorithm would be completely different. You know, because they showing the algorithm for overseas is like mathematics and engineering and shit like that. But our algorithm is all this bullshit. You know, that's just done nothing but, you know, dismantle the American society. It's
when I was
crazy emotional.
When I was trashing communism, and when I went to go set it to post on TikTok, I knew it was. I was like, man, this probably ain't gonna work out too well, but let's just test it. And sure enough, man, that communist shit got swatted. They were like, nope. But none of my shit is against community guidelines. That's why I always win my appeals. But it's like by then, the algorithm has already suppressed you. That engagement ain't there, so your videos don't do well. But my shit got
Well, you know, and people will report this shit real fast too. Sometimes it's not even the algorithm that, because what I think is that if you can appeal it and it pops back up, then it wasn't the algorithm that took you down. It was a viewer that took you down. Somebody, because when you report somebody stuff like that, then that's what they do. They'll say it's against community guidelines or hate speech or something like that. But man, TikTok is like partially valuable, but not. It's crazy because if you're like this chick, you can slam and trash Dr. Francis Cress Welsing and black men and all that, and you won't get no hate speech violation. But let you say that feminism destroyed the black community, like I said, and they're gonna take you down. You know what I'm saying? But I was talking about Planned Parenthood and all sorts of stuff like that. So they probably you know.
But did you hear the girl disagreeing with Dr. Francis Cress Welsing?
Yeah, listen, man. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, her work was literally prophetic. All she did, she didn't influence black men to be anti-feminist or anti-LGBT, whatever. All she did was give them the ability to articulate what those things meant.
No, I'm gonna tell you what she did.
What was happening.
I'm gonna tell you what she did. She predicted the future. Yes.
What she say? Men was gonna be in dresses. They was like everything she said. There was nothing wrong at all with what she said. It followed exactly down the line. We've seen it play itself out. Even her master teacher, Neely Fuller, when he said, you know, white supremacy takes both sides of the argument. What do we see now? If you are any type of black and progressive, you're automatically left. If you're any type of black and conservative, you're automatically right. And either way, you are playing a part of our own dismantling. You're playing a part of our own destruction, because now they can use that to take you down and discredit you. You can't just have a down the line opinion, and really that opinion is Hotep. You can't be Hotep without being either, you know, far right or far left. You have to be one of these types of Hoteps. You know what I mean? She was right. Neely Fuller was right. You know what I'm saying? And that shit breaks my heart, because it's like, y'all waited till she passed away to come at her like this. Like none of these people has the courage now. They kids. They kids, and they getting taught this in college. They was in college.
They was in 8th grade when Dr. Cress Welsing passed away. You know what I'm saying? These kids was in 3rd grade. This is why my
daughter's gonna have this. This is why we homeschooling, because I ain't finna mess around. She's gonna have access to all of this material so that she knows all. And I've been writing. Like I told before, you know, I've been journaling to her and stuff like that. But I've been writing on how to understand these works, because I know what's going to happen is she's not going to understand the terminology or the way that these older black people were speaking. You know, they spoke more strict. They didn't placate to your feelings, and so you gotta open up the way for them to understand, for them to be able to take that stuff in, so they can see why she spoke that way. Because that's another thing, they don't understand this stuff, and also because it's getting talked to them by some white liberal with pink hair, some purple hair motherfucker, like that's really what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hey, man.
That's all I got, man.
Good to hear from you, man. Appreciate the call, man. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill.
Good to hear from Strong Dad, man. Tonight in the chat. Where Mike at? Mike in the chat? Mike, y'all kissed and made up today? Hold on, I'm gonna tell y'all who call in next. Hold on. I hate all these screens. It's this one. U.S. Embassy in Haiti urges citizens to leave the country as soon as possible. Is this the hurricane warning situation? The following is a non-exhaustive list of commercial airlines servicing Haiti. U.S. citizens wishing to depart Port-au-Prince should mind their local news and only do so when considered safe. Wow. Wow. So it looks like we got a hurricane coming. Where we at? Oh, don't forget we got the AirDrop. We got the Real Everything app, including AI. If y'all want to be a part of the future, y'all be on the brink of cutting edge technology and get paid to use this shit. It's like being a beta tester. Remember being a beta tester? Remember you used to get you had to know somebody to become a beta tester of an app. This is kind of like what we're doing. And you got paid for it. Back in the day, you didn't get paid to be a beta tester. Some beta testers got paid, but not all beta testers got paid. But yeah, so this is kind of like that, right? Like being that early adopter, first people on the app, which means you're like the lords of the app, right? Anyway, I'm kind of getting off topic, but this is just something that just hit my head. Like when you're like the first ones on an app, you sort of become, you actually are the curators of the culture of the app.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
So then you can't be like, hey, yo, these leftists, da 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 da. Nah, you have the opportunity to create the culture of the app. Really interesting. Anyway, so if you want to be a part of this group, link in the description box below. It says access to the SuperDAPP. Access to the SuperDAPP group. Hold on, I'm going to get it for y'all. SuperDAPP AirDrop group. Money falling out of the sky. So if you want to be a part of this AirDrop, get some super tokens. Be a part of some real shit. Join the Telegram. When you get to the Telegram, hit the pinned tweet, the pinned message, and all the instructions will be right there. Let's go back. Shout out to Syscoin. You already know. You see it on the screen. Hold on. My brain just segued into redesigning my setup. I hate my brain. I love it. I can't say I hate it. I love it. Septum rings in the Bible represent beauty and ownership in the sense of a gift given to wife. Something a husband would adorn his wife with. Oh, wow. Okay. It's good to know. Good to know. And these bitches ain't got no husband.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
See? Perpetrating. These bitches is licking each other. A gift given to a wife. If you ain't got no husband, don't put the motherfucker in your nose. That's what I'm about to start telling bitches. Where your husband at? Before we even talk, nope, you got the nose ring in. Where's your husband at? Then why'd you get the septum ring, you culturally appropriating ass motherfucker? That's the shit I'm gonna say. I'm sorry, y'all. See, that's that vaccine injury I got. It gives me Tourette's. And then I just start saying shit. I just go off. Oh, this is why you probably this is why I don't vaccinate my kids. Goldstein double dipping.
Call from
Murphy's Law. Goldstein.
I don't normally do this, man.
What happened?
Set the debate up, man.
Uh-oh.
Set that shit up.
Let me grab my pen. You know, a grifter like me love to hear that. Let's go. All right. Goldstein versus Strong Dad. What y'all debating on? Septum ring? What else?
We can go to septum rings. We can go to felon one.
Septum ring, leadership, right?
Yeah.
And being a felon specifically, and as it's tied, as it's related to leadership, right?
Right. Which basically they all kind of flow together.
Yeah. Oh, this is good.
Set that up.
This is good. Okay. Well, probably we might couple this with the launch of me and Wendy Yo are rebooting our Twitter Spaces and our show, so it might come along with that. But we probably gonna book this for either a Tuesday or a Friday night. I gotta talk to Renee because we got to get the promotion set up. You know, we got to promote the fight. We can't just do the fight. We got to promote this fight. You know what I'm saying? Strong Dad, we need your consent. Once we get Strong Dad's consent, I'll send out some possible dates and times, and we'll set this up. Chat, y'all want to see this? Y'all want to see this? Matter of fact, I'm about to stir the pot already. Who you got? Who's gonna win the debate? It's the poll going up on YouTube right now. Who is gonna win the debate? Here we go. We're gonna put Goldstein, and then we're gonna put Strong Dad. I'm gassing this fight. Boom.
Strong Dad. I love you, man. I love you, but I'm trying to make sure your core fans ain't never heard of you, nigga.
And he talking shit.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Oh man, the numbers are coming in. It's bouncing. Goldstein, Strong Dad, Goldstein, Strong Dad. All the numbers are bouncing. Oh man. Go to YouTube.
This is gonna put a nice feather in my cap for fucking Grifter of the Year.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, sir. That's all I have to say, though, man. I'm gonna let you get back to the show.
All right, yo. Hotep and Bill.
All right, bro.
We got controversy on the Grift Report. You seen it here first. Retro Neon. Hey, HJ, what type of cryptocurrency do you recommend I invest in? I recommend you invest in the type of cryptocurrency that you have thoroughly researched. That's the type of cryptocurrency I suggest you invest in. Whatever one you have thoroughly researched and you think you trust. Now, as far as what I hold, I like ETH, I like Bitcoin, I like Syscoin, and that's pretty much the only thing. I have exposure to other coins. I don't want to say, because you motherfuckers is weird, but yeah, that's my top three. Carlos Africa said Hotep Debate League. Oh, I like that.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
We might have to start that up. Y'all gonna have to start picking and choosing. I'm trying to put Tanaya. I want to watch Tanaya body somebody. I've been trying to get anybody. Fucking Lupe. I want Lupe to debate. I want Lupe versus Tanaya. That's what I really want.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
He's scared of Tanaya. I'm about to just start saying it. I'm about to start saying Lupe is afraid of Tanaya Ricks on Twitter. I'm about to tweet that shit right now. Should I tweet it? I'm about to tweet that shit right now. I'm such an instigator. Lupe Fiasco is sorry, Tanai. I gotta be an instigator. What's Tanai's handle? Oh, there he is. He don't want that vaccine debate. Oh, I need to find a vaccine emoji. Let me instigate real fast. Let me instigate real fast. I gotta get my Don King on, man. It's grifting season. Yo, why won't let me copy and paste the motherfucking... The fuck? You don't want that vaccine debate. Bow! There you go. Debate on that vaccine. Bill Gates. Rumble exclusive. Let's get it. All y'all afraid of white male Sonny? What? What are you talking about, Mike? All right, AK, call in. AK, my bad, yo. I got so caught up in the chat. AK, call in, yo. Y'all still arguing, Mike? Let me and anyone with any smoke open up for you. Oh, you want to? We gonna have an opener? Damn, y'all got openers for y'all debate? Damn, Strong Dad and Goldstein. I might have to put Mike versus K, and let y'all yell at each other for an hour before the debate come on. We gonna have the prelims. Let's set up the prelims. K, you want to debate Mike? We gonna set up the prelims. Hotep Debate League. It's about to be up. I might set these up on Friday nights.
Call from
AK, what up, man?
What up, AJ?
What up, man? It's a grifty Wednesday.
Yeah, man. There's so many grifts, man. I was listening to that space last night with Jason and Sonny.
And what happened?
I mean, it was just like you said. I mean, like, he's just on some weird shit. I respect that he'll go out there and say what he says, but like in the same breath, he'll say some shit that's profound, and then he'll say some dumbass shit. All right, like he literally said, now, you know, I've had a life where, you know, I haven't really ever had to like deal in politics, so I don't really understand. But then here's my political opinion about how things should work in politics. It's like, bro, you're literally saying that you're this like big famous dude who's never even had to fucking go to like a local political meeting at all. But here you are acknowledging that Sonny has, acknowledging that Maj has, but then you're like, but here's my opinion on how we should handle things when it comes to local politics. It's like, bro, like you're saying the thing. So it's just like, man, that's how Whitlock is to me, man. Like he's a talking head dude that recognizes that the power that he has isn't based on an everyday man-to-man, nigga-to-nigga perspective, man.
He's a top-tier grifter.
Yeah. And it's cool that he like tried to have this conversation or whatever. And I'll never be mad at someone that wants to have a conversation. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you want to have Nick Fuentes on your shit. Let this motherfucker spout his vile, evil shit. I don't care. I'm of the debate mindset that like let motherfuckers tell on themselves, say what they really feel, and then we as discerning individuals can say, oh, we want to mess with this dude, or no, we don't want to mess with this dude. Instead of like people that hold these feelings inside, and then it's like, oh, I thought we were cool, but like deep down inside, like you hate me because, you know, whatever reason or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I think it's crazy. Hey, I wanted to talk on the TikTok thing. Now I know it's a Chinese spy app. I get that, but there's a lot of good stuff going on TikTok now. I get paid by TikTok. All right, I'm monetized. I'm not making a ton of money. You know, I got 100,000 followers, and I found a way to stick around. And so my advice, I was trying to tell this to Cannon. Like, I was watching some of his older videos where he does some, like, entertaining value stuff. And I was like, bro, you just need to repost those, maybe make it a portrait frame. But, like, Cannon's got a bunch of old fire clips where he throws in your higher mind. It's not about censoring yourself. It's about delivering your message in a way that moves around the censors, and that's what I've been able to do.
You don't gotta school me on that. I do Fox. You don't gotta school me on that. I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah.
My thing is, it's a matter of priorities, right? Like if your priority is to grow on TikTok, then yeah, you'll do that, right? It's no longer my priority. No longer is to grow on social media. It's not really a priority of mine. I'm more worried about growing my audience.
Right. No, you're in a different phase, brother. I mean, you've been able to get your following and continue to grow, but just from a different perspective, right? Like, you're set with who you are. Like, you're easily identifiable, and people can find your message on so many different platforms. But for people that just aren't necessarily at that point,
that's what they got to do. That's what Sneeko was talking about earlier. That's what Sneeko was talking about earlier. It's like, I ain't talking about this red pill shit no more. I can't monetize it.
Yeah, man. Because listen, like if you can't, you know this, right? Like this is why it's the Grift Report. You understand the hustle. You understand the grift, and ultimately, like, don't just adopt this mindset that they're not going to allow me to have a voice. Like, well, find a way to move around, nigga. Shit, like the shit that's going to get you taken down. Like when I post a video, I know the shit that's going to get taken down.
Yes.
But sometimes I still want to do it for that reason. And yeah, there's algorithmic manipulation. Like I could go right now and just say some anti-black shit as a black man, my shit will blow up. It's crazy. Right. That will get you some plug. Either you say anti-white shit, or you say, if you're black and you say anti-black shit. Both of those things will get you blown up.
Correct.
You try and talk about real shit, the algorithm ain't too interested in that shit. But yeah, man, I just wanted to throw it out there. Like, don't, for the cats out there, like Strong Dad, Cannon, some other cats, like, you got to play in the fray. You got to be smart about the shit. But, those motherfuckers have your shit already. So don't be like, oh, I'm not going to post because they're going to take my shit. Like, they already got your shit, man.
Yeah, that's also true. That's also true.
That's all I want to throw out there, man. And Hotep and Bill, keep up the great work. And I'll tell you right now, I got my money on Hotep Goldstein. Like Strong Dad, sharp mind, but Goldstein, the Kufi might be a little bit too tight at times, but he's on point, man. Like Goldstein is my Kufi tight, too tight bellwether, right? So like. If I hear Goldstein say something, it'll make me like double check, and sometimes I might get my kufi on way too tight.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're far right at Goldstein, you know your kufi on too tight.
yeah, I gotta loosen this up just a little bit here, man.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Hotep and Bill, bro.
All right, Hotep and Bill. I ain't miss your donation. I'm about to read it right now. Thank you for the reminder though. Wholesome white woman. We're gonna take last call. Wholesome white woman. Let's talk to wholesome white woman. Who is this? And then that's gonna be the last call for today. So Kay over on Rumble. Hold on, let me find it. Actually, I saved it right here. Donating to the cause and paying dues. Once Rumble has a way to gift memberships, the Grift gift bag is back. Hotep and Bill. Shout out to Kay. Appreciate you. Spreading love on the channel. Did y'all hit the like button? Did y'all hit that like button? Everybody, let's have a like button party. Just everybody just find the like button and hit it. All right? Find the like button. Hit the like button. You know what I mean? Show me what you're working with. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, what a day of grifting. What's today, Wednesday? All right. What else did I want to cover? Hold on. Let me pull this up. Wholesome white woman, you can call in. Looks like Goldstein is at 64% on the poll. Goldstein's the favorite. Strong Dad, Goldstein's the favorite.
Call from Wholesome White Woman.
Wholesome white woman, what up, yo?
Oh, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I just want to thank you for your impeccable timing. I took the kid after we did a double assignment day as a reward. We went to the little stream that she likes. I had an earbud in. I'm listening. I had to drop some stuff off at Goodwill, and I literally put my car in park. And you said, "Host white woman, last call." And I was like,
Hey.
this man.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
I'm connected, baby. I'm the one.
That's how I figured. I was like, he's just watching me on the satellite. It's fine. No big deal.
Oh, shit. So what's on your mind today?
Well, I don't know. We've kind of run the gambit today.
Yeah, we did.
The CBDC,
Mm-hmm.
Stateside, when they do launch it, I think it'll piggyback off of the same financial systems that we use for WIC,
Yep.
the Women, Infants, and Children.
Yep.
And then also the SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program.
Yeah.
Those are already programmed currencies. We already have that.
Correct.
So if I just slide into my bad guy government brain, I would just piggyback the CBDC off of that. I would roll it out to those people who receive TANF, the cash assistance for the single moms to buy diapers, so you can get diapers on food stamps. So you would pay those people, their TANF money is now in the CBDC, in the currency of that. And then you'd also pay all of your federal employees, your postmen, your freaking badge holding feds, your little dinkly whatever municipalities, and then you'd also pay your soldiers that. So there you go. You have 30% of your freaking nation pumping out your CBDC coin with basically no gun to anyone's head.
You nailed it. You nailed it. You get the CBDC better than most people.
And that's just I get frustrated because I understand that we have to change, we have to evolve, we have to do something, because this made up petrodollar bullshit, it's fake. We all know Jackal Island happened. We all know it's fake. We all know it's bullshit. We all know it's gay. But we could easily go back to trading shiny stones and shells. I would rather do that than have some government programmed. You said a bad word on Elon's internet, so you don't get to buy gas today, ma'am. You might go start a riot in the city. We don't think so.
Bars.
So,
I'm with you.
And I think that comes from me being an old poor person who married somebody who didn't even know what poor was, who had to acknowledge what they thought was not poor. I married that man, and now that I'm not poor, I ain't fucking going back. I ain't doing it.
I know that's right.
I am capital N not doing it. So all I want is for everyone else to see, we all gonna be poor. And if you ain't never been there before, let me tell you, you don't want to go. You will not like it. It is not fun. It's not cute. It is stressful. And it is just it is not good for the human experience. And that's why everybody is out here mentally ill, poking themselves in the face, being morbidly obese, basically doing a slow suicide for the whole world to see. And that's how we wrap up the show on a Wednesday.
Talk to him. Talk to him. I appreciate the call.
Read your Bible, read The Art of War, and Hotep and Bill.
I love it. Wholesome white woman, y'all. Damn. That's how you end the show. Let them know. Did y'all hit the like button? Did you hit the like button? Hold up. I got another surprise for you. You already know what time it is. It's Master Focus time. That QR code you see on your screen is going to apply about half off. It's 20 plus 30. You got the 30 on the screen. It's going to add the other 30. All right? Get your brain booster. Some of you motherfuckers' brains has been fucked up. You've been doing drugs and alcohol all weekend. You got brain fog like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to restore your brain, facilitate optimal brain function, promote neurological health. Shout out to our chief science officer of Master Focus, Dr. Tanai Ricks. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Official in-house scientist and co-owner. Oh, you didn't know that, did you? Haha. Brain builders, energy boosters, mood enhancers, and we cannot forget the gut health, the enteric nervous system. Tanai Ricks talks about that in detail. Much, much more for you to see in the future. The link is also in the description box below. Hit the link in the description box below. That one also will apply the discount code at checkout. Not in your cart, at checkout. Once you go to checkout, you'll see it applied there. That is the Grift Report coupon code. Coupon code Grift Report. All right? Y'all stay frosty. Stay Hotep. And I'm going to see y'all tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time. What's that? That's Hotep Thursday, ain't it? I'll see you tomorrow. Hotep Thursday tomorrow. I'm going to be on my A game tomorrow. I was off my game last week. I was tired of shit. I'm going to be on my game this week. We got a lot to discuss. You know what I'm saying? I'll see you tomorrow, man. Hotep and Bill.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How am I supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in.
How'd you get that done so quick? They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there. You understand?
You guys finished your work 6 hours early? He's not tapped in.